Hey y'all, Steve Peterson here with Infinity Investments, and welcome to our channel where we talk all things commercial and investment real estate. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the hidden tax that can run your portfolio into the ground. And it's not your traditional tax. Now, we all know that capital gains taxes is an outstanding amount, especially here in the golden state of California. Right? Some states don't have it. That's outstanding. But some states are really, really low. In California, it's a lot. So we know that capital gains tax can be a true eater of wealth. But that's not what I'm talking about today. All right? What we're talking about today is what I've learned through a few, particularly one individual who was a very astute, successful investor, and he called it the idiot tax. What the idiot tax is, and y'all know me, that's a little hard. I keep it positive. I'm gonna call it the bad decision tax. But the idiot tax is what this astute investor told me and taught me, is when you make horrible investment decisions based on time constraints or market conditions. Time constraints of things like a 1031 exchange, let's say, and then market conditions being that, hey, everything's going up, everybody's making money. Some people think they got the Midas touch, and hey, it's going to keep going up. We're going to keep buying, and we're going to keep buying without really thinking through it. And that bad decision tax, if you will, is really a bigger destroyer of wealth than capital gains taxes. And when we come back and talk about capital gains, we all know the 1031 exchange, possibilities to defer capital gains tax is a great way to do that and build wealth. Well, what happens sometimes when people are excited about selling their property and excited about exchanging, but not diligent about planning it out, about mapping it out and being real on point and on purpose about what you're going to acquire, is that you can get caught in the time constraints of the exchange, the 45 days to identify, the 180 days to close. It seems like no big deal until you get in that time frame, and then the stress starts to mount, and it does mount. And what happens physically when stress comes, anxiety comes, this chemical called cortisol gets into your brain, and it messes up your thought process. And so otherwise shrewd people end up making horrible decisions when the game's on the line, so to speak, because you're pressured, and it's not a plan and a plot, it's a pressure decision. And so as a broker and an investor in this business, my words to you guys is, let's not make decisions, let's not purposely, right, make decisions under tremendous amounts of stress and time pressure, and decisions that are based on what's going on in the market. Let's make decisions based on a solid plan that we have devised on how we're going to handle, if you're doing a 1031 exchange, how you're going to handle your acquisition, your next move in the business. Very, very important. The next thing, essentially, this is a little bit interesting or hard to break down, but essentially giving or creating time for you to make decisions. Here's what I mean by that. Before you go into your exchange, let's say, is taking a step back before you sell your property, before you sell your downleg property, to map out exactly what the ideal replacement property would be, and begin that process before you list the property you're going to sell. Very important. I talk to a lot of people, and they say, I'm just listing this property. It's too early for me to start talking to or start looking at other properties. I beg to differ. That is absolutely the time to start looking for other properties. Do not let the time get on top of you. Make the moves before. And the same thing if you're out there making an acquisition just with cash or financing or whatever, take the time to map out your investment plan and how the next acquisition is going to move that plan forward. Versus, I got some money, I just want to buy something. A lot of people made a lot of mistakes when the market shifted in '08 because they were just buying, or they were just up against time constraints, sold a great property, exchanged into a piece of crap because it looked and sounded good without a solid plan of how to maneuver there, right? So very take this bad decision tax, this idiot tax is real. When we're in a market environment like we are in 2022, we need to take the time to be focused, to be diligent about what we're doing, to have a team that we're working with so we can execute on that next transaction as it relates to moving our investment plan forward. And the last thing I like to leave with you guys, especially for you guys doing exchanges, is to consider a reverse exchange. Now, reverse exchange can be expensive, but you're talking maybe 10, 15 grand of the cost in general. A lot cheaper than 25, 35% capital gains tax, all right? That is when you reverse exchange is when you purchase the upleg property first. It goes through a different process through the exchange accommodator, and then you sell your property. That can be like a last resort, but it's something to think about as you're setting up your plan. All right, and if this is helpful information, click the link below, book a time with us. We've also have a proprietary checklist that we call the 1031 exchange checklist, 1031 success checklist. Check that out as you map out your next investment move, as you map out your 1031 exchange. Hope this is helpful. If it is, like, subscribe, share with friends. To the next video, have an amazing rest of your day, rest of your week. Peace.